Alright, well, Vortex here, and I'm in a bit of a fucking pissed off mood, so I'm going to do a video on my general misanthropy, exploring misanthropic approaches to life and where that comes from, essentially, and just talk about some shit related to INTP and how the struggles I'm now having, certainly as a 31-year-old INTP, Myers-Briggs type, introverted, intuitive thinking, perceiving. So misanthropy is generally having quite a cynical approach or a outlook on life, and this is definitely for me increasing more at the minute. My general misanthropy is kind of increasing as the practical elements of my life kind of unravel and unwind. So I won't go into too much detail. I'm financially, I'm in a shit position at the minute. Mentally I feel drained, physically I feel drained. I feel like I don't really have, I'm doing freelance work at the minute, but I feel somewhat unstimulated, no sense of direction. In terms of relationships, this same old shit really. Is just either getting people coming for me for relationship advice, which I don't really give a shit about, like their relationships, and then for some reason I'm seen as some kind of fucking guru people come to all the time to relay all their fucking thoughts that I don't give a shit about. And there's that, and I've got to the point with this now where I'm just going to get better at setting boundaries, because honestly I don't care about people's relationships, what they do. I've had this happen before where two of my mates were in a relationship with each other, and then they've things falling out and all that, and then they're just coming for me for advice. I'm like, fucking sort your own shit out. It's not my problem. And if people can't communicate, then fucking communicate. How difficult is it? You just talk to the other person. Fuck's sake. This is why I hate human beings. They just don't do the obvious. They will wrap themselves around in the most complex shit ever and not communicate. I tend to be often rather direct and blunt. I call a spade a fucking spade. Well, the problem is with most human beings, especially I think EP types, or the FP, the emotionally kind of more volatile types, I suppose, generally, is they don't have that pre-analysis thing. They're like explosive kegs, which can be really interesting sometimes to be around, but another times it's just extremely frustrating, because when it comes to that thing, it's like, you just if you've got a problem, then approach the problem and confront the issue. That's the only way you can resolve problems, is confronting them in a positive way that's not going to cause too much friction. And the longer you let things smolder over, the worse they get, 10 times worse. I mean, I've had a situation recently where people keep on asking me for advice on this stuff, and I'm just like, fucking sort it out. And I'm so tired of having to listen to it. I'm tired of as for myself, especially with my bipolar, I have a very deep relationship with hating myself and nothingness, and I don't really want to listen to people's stupid bullshit, I'm not setting it up as a comparative thing, but I just don't care about this fucking schoolyard shit, this fucking adolescent bullshit. This is fucking school kid stuff. This is fucking ridiculous, retarded school kid shit. And I really could give less of a fuck. So stop approaching me and asking me about your fucking stupid emotional issues, because I don't give a fuck. And this is my misanthropy, obviously, coming out. I'm so tired of trying to sort other people's shit out, giving them objective logical analysis advice, and then they just go and fucking come to me with the same shit again. Do or don't. There is no try, as Yoda might or once put it. Just fucking do your shit. And stop coming to me, who's a person who is anyway emotionally vulnerable, because I'm an INTP. I can't deal with my fucking emotions anyway. I have no positive way, apart from art and doing some other shit, of being able to kind of cultivate a relationship with my own emotional intelligence. So I'm really just tired of other people coming to me and trying and thinking that I've got some kind of like insight into a lot of shit. The craziest thing for me is when people come to me for relationship advice. I have never had a relationship that lasted longer than a month, and I'm 31. That is how fucking shit I am at it. I am lazy, I am indifferent. Unless someone makes it extremely clear that they want a relationship with me, I'll probably be unaware that they even like me in that way. And because I'm very direct, unless I directly ask someone if they want to go out, then there was no way that I will know. So having people coming to me constantly asking me for relationship advice is extremely stress inducing, and it's just extremely annoying, and actually extremely, I can't give you any, I am not a good baritone or parameter or whatever of relationship advice, because I think people just take this shit way too seriously. Literally all it is can I spend more than 10 minutes with this person without getting bored? Can I conversate with this person? Is the sex good? Boof! Simple as that. And people overthink every single aspect of this shit. Like, obviously, everybody's got their bad points, and like, I'm a messy motherfucker. I mean, I might be clever, I might be creative, I might be whatever positive traits I have. I might have a more or less tolerant nature despite the appearance of this video, but I am messy, I'm disorganized, I have very lazy periods of just complete indifference and just complete fuck everything-ness as well. And this is, I mean, obviously this is I'm presenting myself in quite an ugly manner in this video, but I've just got to get this shit out of my system, because I mean, it's just pissing me off. It's a common thing that I guess happens a lot, where someone or people think that they can just come to you all the time and ask you for advice. I don't mind sometimes being asked for advice, but it's just I get used a lot in these situations where I tend to not explode that much, except like I am now. Because obviously what happens with the INTP, I think generally as it's understood, is the FE, when it comes out, it fucking blows up. Which is what I'm doing now, obviously. And I'm sorry for apologising for swearing, but I'm just so frustrated. I feel, actually read this article the other day about INTPs have paid the least. So how much does it say about society when the smartest subtype of personalities earn the least? I mean, fuck this world, basically. We have Donald Trump in charge of in power, the most imbecilic, misogynistic piece of shit ever is in power in America, the most powerful nation still, like in geopolitical sense, all over the world. Fucking, I've just reached the point where pretty much 90% of humanity, I do not identify with them on any level. I do not even like most people. Most people to me are just fucking, I can spot their little stupid games off like a million miles away. That's actually one very negative part of being highly intuitive, is I can tell what people's aims and all the networking little games they're doing in their heads are. I can see it. I mean, I can literally visually see it, more or less. I mean, visually in my mind, I mean. And it's just, obviously that can develop down paranoid tracks, but I'm not being paranoid, I'm just saying. And obviously it's a lot of it's overthinking in some respects. But that is an extremely frustrating thing to have to deal with, I think. The fact that you tend to be very clearly pick up on people's intentions and, well, funnily enough, not of romance and that, but when it comes to like just in general like social observations, I tend to be very good at picking up people's, like, you know, when he's just somewhere and someone's obviously doing some stupid networking bullshit, I can pick that up straight away. I mean, I'll probably do it myself. I think everybody does to a degree. You know, someone when like someone mentions something and they say, oh, like I've got a friend who does that, or it's kind of like that kind of very, well, obviously I haven't pre-social networks in the internet, but it's just like a networking thing, I guess. But then even networking, I'm not a natural networker. I can do it a bit. Actually, to lie. I've kind of learned how to fake it well. But the bit I can't fake with networking is some people have this very good way of like with people of I don't soften myself for anybody, and I won't soften myself for anyone. Why should I? I hate that kind of superficial fakeness of softening oneself, softening one's ideas purely to gain ascendancy in the social network. This is a lot of the cancer that's eating the fucking world to pieces. Social fucking networking. Social networks have existed basically since, and I'm talking in the abstract, but social networks in the abstract have existed since we first gathered around fires. First time 2 or 3 people started talking, that's a social network. Because a network is in like in the idea of what a network is, the actual concept of what a network is, connected nodes and of information. In obviously that's an abstract way to put it, but and what we have now obviously is Facebook and Twitter, all the social network platforms, all the differing degrees of usefulness and yeah. But it's such a distraction, and I'm distracted by it constantly, and I don't want to be on there anymore. I'm not a natural social, socially dynamic. I'm not naturally socially dynamic. I'm not naturally socially at ease. I'm socially very awkward. So to be on social media for me is actually the most counterintuitive idea ever. And I really need just a website where I can just be on by myself, or just not go on a website. So yeah, I don't know how I got from what I was talking about before to social networking, but I'm just going to put this up as a rant video, proper rant. I'm just rambling on about nothing really. I don't know. I think returning back to misanthropy. Misanthropic is my general pessimistic outlook, and I feel very pessimistic at the minute. I feel directionless again. I don't want to do programming for the rest of my life. I don't feel that compulsion. I like painting. I'd like to do that, but I'm not going to be able to make money doing it. I'd like to combine all these things, do game design, and I might be doing that in the future. But like I don't know if I'm having like a crisis today, but I've given up. I would commit suicide, but I just know it's too painful, and the point of it, like that it could mess up and I could be fucked forever, is just too much. But I kind of have those thoughts swimming around my head, which I've got a very good way of dealing with. But it's just, why even? I feel that somewhat at the minute. I think I feel very depressed, frustrated, anxious, annoyed. I mean, it's a very nice day out today. Look at it, it's lovely. I feel like just staying in my cave and not really interacting with any of the world. I don't feel joy. I look at a tree, a beautiful tree, for like 2 hours. I might go to the park actually later. That's probably what I need to do. Get some fresh air. Go to the park, relax, and just be on my own for a bit and read a book or something. That'll probably be really useful. I'll do that. And just be on my own again. I think a lot of my problems as well root back to that loneliness, really. I try and connect to other human beings, but the problem I often have is, if it's romantic anyway, I think a lot of women I've actually heard them verbalise this. They think that they're either not intelligent enough for me, or something like that, or like that I'm somehow enigmatic, or somehow, I don't know, I don't get it. probably just I'm ugly, to be honest. I'm not the best looking man ever, and I'm not bad. I'm not like Brad Pitt, far from it. I'm like a 6 or a 7 maybe max, and I'm fat as well, so that doesn't help. But and like I think it's a general INTP thing apparently, because we're quite direct and we take things very literally. Often in relationships or in any like I don't know, like I've observed this, so it's not just purely talk out my ass. I've seen women play hard to get, or they like I don't know, kind of play a kind of psychological game. Oh, men and women do this with each other. Obviously, it's not just a female thing, but I either will completely miss that, or I will get it and be like, yeah, great. Just talk to me directly, and I don't fucking beat around the bush. So that's why I'm shit at relationships, because I don't really beat around the bush, which then probably means a lot of the time I come across as cold and insensitive, as opposed to emotionally in tune with whatever I'm supposed to be in tune with. So that's why I'm pretty shit at relationships, I guess. That's why I get bored of them pretty fast as well. Some of the times, I'd want to be. Obviously, I like actually getting the emotions drawn out of me, but I don't know. I don't know what this is even about. It's been a fun rant though. I probably need to do it, I guess. So, I'm probably gonna go sleep now. I'm just so fucking knackered, tired, constantly tired, full of hay fever, completely misanthropic at the minute, and clawing desperately a way out by I'm gonna try meditation again, or like something like that, but I'm just very, very tired.